The protagonist sat with his back to the bed, put his hand on his face and complained about feeling unwell, not understanding what was happening. He opened one eye and addressed the nanomachine, which immediately responded to the master's call. Ash looked at the black spots on his hand and asked if this meant that there was currently a huge number of very small mechanisms in his body. The voice confirmed this and clarified that at the moment almost 6.5 trillion nanomachines were evenly distributed in the prince's body. Ash mentally exhaled, since he could not understand what it was, since he was neither a person nor a spirit. The guy, sitting facing the door of the room, asked if the nanomachine could accidentally leave his body if he wanted. The mechanical voice referred to the transmitted information and said that its program included the ability to completely leave the master's body only in the event of his final death. Ash sat in the lotus position. He concluded that this was the mysterious stranger who had dealt with those northern mages, who had put that very nanomachine into his body. The protagonist looked at the floor, not understanding why this had happened to him. He wanted to ask who had put the nanomachine into his body, but he didn't have time. James knocked on the young gentleman's door and announced that the white advisor had arrived. The guy jumped up in surprise and asked what was now inside him to sit quietly for a while. He understood that if someone saw him talking to some mechanism in his head, they would definitely decide that he had gone crazy. Ash lay back down in bed. The nanomachine said that it could communicate with the master through thoughts, simply by reading brain waves. The protagonist whispered that he understood everything and asked the mechanism to be silent. It said that it was temporarily switching to sleep mode. James walked inside with Weiss and noticed that the young master seemed to be still awake, so they should be careful. However, he didn't have time to finish his thought and rushed to the protagonist's bed, finding that he had woken up. James was very worried about the boy and asked if he was okay. Then he winced and covered his face with his hand. The man smelled a terrible smell and asked what it was. Ash realized that he had completely forgotten about it. The white advisor scratched his beard. He was interested. Weiss approached the young master's bed and asked if he remembered the old man. The prince confirmed and noted that he could not afford to forget the white advisor who had answered the call and come to treat his mother. Weiss extended his hand and asked to let him measure the protagonist's heartbeat. The boy became worried about it. The old man assured him that it was nothing serious and urged him to give him his hand. Ash offered his hand with clear black marks, and the white advisor began to feel the pulse. Weiss was shocked. He said it was simply amazing. James became agitated and shouted out a question about what the old man was talking about. He began to think the worst, that the young master had some kind of illness. Weiss let go of Ash's hand and noticed that it was just the opposite. He admitted that he did not understand the protagonist's condition at all. James asked what he meant.